Welcome back to the self-made mega farm. It's early morning, somewhat. Not a farmer's early morning, but I just call that game early morning. We'll jump here into the 8 hour. We need to go get some manure spread and working. So we'll get that hooked up. We're gonna want to go to field 14. Let's put that on 14 hold. We want manure point for that. We're gonna go this way because we've got to fill up right here. Hoping we have enough manure with the new field set up the way it is. Looking at it, yeah, it's a little light. And what I'm trying to figure out is we got all this spotting right here, like the plow wasn't plowing. But now that I think about it, you know what? I wonder if that's not trees, because we plowed that. So it'll be interesting to see what it does, because we seeded that and stuff. I thought I was filling up the whole time I was talking, but yeah, I just noticed that it's a little patchy. It's interesting. Not really sure why that is patchy. Thought our plowing and planting and everything looked pretty smooth. Open all these up. There we go. Like I said, we'll go set up a new course for that field because of its size now. And then we need to get the soybean planter running as well. So I'll have to definitely load up the seeds for that, I think. Because the last time I think on that larger field, I think we burned through quite a bit. I could be wrong. It might have been sunflowers I'm thinking of. But just something we'll have to keep in mind. That one does use fertilizer as well, though it shouldn't need that much for soybeans. So I think what we have left in the shed will be just fine. I hope to get us through another year. We'll have to do some wheat planting or barley planting in the fall. Rumor is there might be something else coming in there. Haven't seen it yet though, or know what it is, but or there's expansion possibly in the way. Alright, so we're here. I'm gonna actually drive down here because I kind of want to see what is the spotting. So it looks like just grass left behind from when we expanded. I really don't see any issues with what we have down there. So we're there, we're within that line. Weird. So if I come all the way over here, like we know that's that, but why is that way? That is the question. I mean, I'm not seeing any noticeable spotting. What we do need to do is we need to get this going though. I guess we'll figure out what's going on with that. So we are no longer field 14 for manure. We can delete that course. So yes, I want to delete. And then we are going to, I thought I cleared that course. There we go. We want the new one. We want 2 headlands. Probably could do 3 headlands now. Let's say 2. All looks good there. I'm going to set something up wrong clockwise is the way we want to go on the headland. No, we want to go counterclockwise in the headland with... Right? Or would that be off the field? No, I think we can be fine. This is where we always get it mixed up here. There we go. That took a minute. Something's definitely a little weird done about that area. But I think we're good there. So now let's save the course. 13. I'm gonna type here. Get the steering wheel in the way. Alright. That's good. I'll turn that on. Go to first waypoint. We'll figure it out. Hopefully it all works out. We'll kind of keep track on that. I want to find my case here. Have to grab some gas. I can't remember if I topped this off. We might have to run in and top it off. We'll just jog in here. And slide this across the floor. And we are topped off. No, that's just us on the road. I'm gonna just drive the planner now. Yeah. Probably shouldn't take the risk, even though we haven't seen traffic. Last thing we need to do is end up in an incident. Make it easier to fill up this as well. We really do need to purchase a gas tank. I think that's one thing we kept putting off. There you go. Make sure that soybeans. That's what we will be doing, and really don't want to use the 9RX for rolling, but that might be our option. So 2 of the things I was looking at we need to purchase for next time around is a tedder. I'll make sure we can go buy it. So definitely need a tedder. I think we can get away going with a big one. I do not see anything against that. I think just going out there running that, even though you say usually if you get similar size to everything else, you can, run one after the other on the same track and be fine. I'm not too worried about that. So I think that's what we're going to go with. This one's 17 meters. Does really extend out there. 8.9, 8.2. I mean, 16 grand for the 8.9 is not bad. Working speed's only 9 miles per hour, though. I feel like when it comes to tedding, we want to be quick. So we're going to grab the Pottinger. We don't need a plate on that. Thank you. We will purchase the Pottinger. Because we need to start getting the hay bales. And then on the windrowers, we have obviously the Merge Max. Another Pottinger, 14 meter. I personally, didn't mean to do that. I personally like probably one of these mergers to have the options of which way to send it. I think the Anderson one might be better than the Max 950 by Kuhn. Just my thoughts. I also don't want the European markers on it because I don't think you can adjust those. No, you cannot. So yes, it's a pretty penny, but we'll go to the BKTs. There we go. No plate. I'll make another purchase. But we should be in good standing now. Kind of stay in good standing. So we've got beans we'll be selling soon, so we'll get some of that money back. We just spent 133 grand total, but like I said, on the bright side, we can make hay now. We can start focusing and getting ready for TMR, which is kind of key. Let's do 2 headlands. Yeah. And off to the first waypoint you go. Quite the fog out here on an April morning. You know, didn't even take a look, and there is nothing. Still got that magnum in there. 155. Sugar beet ropa in there as well, 60% off. I mean, if I had the other equipment for sugar beet, we'd be good to go. If I had the money, I would actually think about it too, but I don't think so, because we still got to buy the header and everything else, or the, what do you call it, the forager, deforager. But yeah, so we're good there. I was thinking too, because we are gonna start really maxing out our baleage space here. Maybe getting into one of these. Naturally, one was just on sale and we didn't take it. But using these maybe to, you know, pick up and transport from the fields. But yeah, thinking like it'd be a lot of trips for our meadow. Like a lot. Because I mean, we're getting 1.2 million each time off that field, if not more. It'd be more now, so probably 1.3, 1.4 million. You know, that's what, 50,000 each time. So 20 trips just to get $1 million, right? I think I did that right. So yeah, that's a fair amount. But it'd be kind of nice to run a bunker. It's been a while. Kind of test out the waters on that. I haven't really got into that yet in FS25. If you're still watching, let me know down in the comments. Have you used any of the silage bunkers? I know Sims used a few. I'm trying to think who else I've seen run a few. And I gotta make sure this is... So remember how I said I don't know if we can plant in this? I was right. And all we're doing so we do have to cultivate all this. I was so worried about that. Thought we could get away. This tiller mulcher does not help in that way. It helps give us a bonus. So in the fall we will need to mulch, and then we need to get out here with the 9RX and shallow cultivate. Guy's still running. So that is a lesson learned, folks. I knew that. If you guys have been watching the last couple episodes, I mentioned that was probably going to be what we encountered. And I told myself, no, it looks fine. Yeah, it's got to be cultivated. So we'll head out there and cultivate. I'm hoping it does not ask for lime. Though we could probably apply that after. I don't really want to because I don't think that helps the yield as much. That was a dumb move on my part. Man, we could have probably snuck in that workload too. Towards the end of last month. That's a unfortunate setback. What's weird is it used fertilizer. So that worked as a fertilizer. Am I seeing that right? It did. It fertilized that. Wow, that's interesting. So now let's take a look at this. So this one looks like they've got it figured out again and doing all right. So we're fine there. These fields, I think we need to next time just kind of mulch them in to get rid of that old mulch. Because the shallow cultivator does not get rid of it. So yeah, we need it to be, it's got to have the cultivated or plowed state on it. Or the stubble tillage. Man, that's frustrating. So we got a bit of work to do then. Now yeah, this is where you kind of wish you had that fourth smaller tractor. Because I'd almost probably plow the other field. Or if we had to run line. Look at the fog here. But I think I'm gonna get things a little more sorted because it's been a little chaotic. My thought process on it was in different places, I guess, and it's error on our part, but I'm gonna get this running and probably get some stuff done around the farmyard, and I'll be back. So see y'all shortly. All right, let's try this again. We've got cultivator running. The frustration behind that is we get probably 2 passes in and the hydraulic line went, so we had to change that out. So now, as you can see, we're after 9 a.m. and we're finally putting in seed. Alright, so sand needs rolling, which is fine. Good. Soybeans going in. Good. And we're going to do 3 headlands with the planter. So somebody brought up, so it's about 27 meters total. But in one of my previous videos, someone did mention, maybe even in Discord, hey, you should be doing at least a headland the same size. You know, if you're doing 2 headlands with the harvester, you should be, you know, planting or seeding the same distance on the headlands to open it up so you're not cross-cutting or something like that. So we're going to try that. Why not, right? Let's see if we can do it correct. And, you know, hopefully it'll stay within the limits and we won't end up cultivating over it with that other tractor cultivators on. I think we'll be fine, but we'll see. But hoping to get the soybeans in the ground in both fields today. As soon as the 9RX is done here, we're sending it over to the other field to cultivate that as well. And I think we recently lined this one, but I think the field we're actually gonna get stuck liming is this one up here between 5 and 4. I just have a weird feeling that that one's due, and that's why I was thinking that. So we'll see. As far as fertilization, everything else is looking pretty solid. We're getting the meadow done. That'll be turned to hay next time around, which will be pretty exciting to see as we start to make leaps and bounds there. We'll be getting some more straw, which we'll be able to use with TMR, and then we'll have to get the additives. Now, something I was thinking about too is, what do we have for mixers? And there we go. Do we have anything good? I know custom modding has the Valmetal one in the works again. Be nice to see those. Right now, it's really that right there. It's 24 meters, 12 meters, 35 to 45. If I bump this up, it's another 10 grand, so $90,000. I mean, maybe. Silo King is trustable, or respectable and trustworthy, so maybe that's what we go with. I don't think we have any TMR options or shacks we can even use in that sense. So I think a lot of it will be just throwing it in there, using our loader, and doing it that way. As far as the additives, not really sure. We'd have to probably just pull up and simulate the old dumping of the bags. Or should I say the mineral feed, not additives. It is an additive, but mineral feed. So that'll cost us a little extra money as well, but I think we've got some sale or some opportunities coming up to sell. Let's see, we're getting up there in milk. Sunflowers, still haven't had to bring another load there, which is kind of frustrating that it's not going that fast. Wood, we are full. I told you we brought the rest of those logs, but that's good. We're seeing money come from that. So if we have what we can sell right now, we always could sell silage because we've got just under 1.3 million liters of grass fermenting right now. We got 1.1 of silage. Straw, we're at just under 500,000 there. When those fields are ready to harvest, it'd be nice to kind of boost that back up. But straw is not too pricey, so I'm actually okay if I ever had to go buy it. We could buy some to get us through, help out the local market. But I really need the sunflower oil to start being ramped up here. So we got 164,000 liters of sunflower left. Would really like to see it start moving. Soybean, when we go to sell that at max value, we'll get about 53 grand. So I think, we can get things going. My little experiment with pumping up the extra sunflower. The time is, it takes quite a while for that plant to really produce it. And that's the problem. We kind of see that with the dairy. Cheese and butter aren't really that quick. I mean, cheese has a good price. Cheese, essentially, for a max price, we probably should be pushing cheese. Milk bottle, we don't get much for. So I'm actually going to, we're going to take milk bottle off over here. Let's deactivate milk bottled. Not really showing me where it's at other than it's storing. So we're going to make that inactive. Cheese is really good. Cheese also has a lot more cycles, it seems. Yeah, 480 for that. 480 for butter. Butter, we're just not seeing much. So let's see if we can crank up the cheese production here, folks. Cheese has got 1320. 3 milk to 2 cheese. I like that ratio. We can work with that. So I think that's what we got to do there. And I really wish sunflower was quicker, but it's not. It is what it is. It's funny it's 480 like canola, but they both, I feel like canola was producing so much faster. Are we starting to catch the 9R already? Make sure he can load up here. He loves really cutting close there, but maybe that's where I had the old building set up in the first place. See if he gets hung up here on the pile. Timing was pretty good on that. He's probably going to get hung up on that pile once he gets this loaded. The pile shrunk a little bit. He might be able to drive right over it. Come on. Naturally. Need a little push. We're out. Next time through, it should be low enough to drive right around it. Almost need that trigger to be a little further out. But yeah, that field right there across the road, we're gonna have to cultivate to make some progress on that. Our wheat's looking, or our barley's looking good right here. We'll say that. That's growing pretty well. None of the animals across the road have made their way over to it, so that's even better. I don't really have anything to bring that equipment back with yet. I really should start looking into a truck. We had sold ours originally because we were getting low on funds. We were using tractors all the time and larger trucks, but I think it's something we should keep our eye out on. There's been some good ones released on Mod Hub recently. So this guy's doing good. Yeah, he's probably a third of the way through the field. So let's hop back into the truck. So we got just planks there, nothing crazy. So still another hour of work here. As you can see, there's quite a bit of field space left. But it looks like we somehow pulled further away. They're going the same speed, so maybe it's just an optical illusion. Or it's the turn point. I feel like that sometimes is always an issue, the turning. We're actually going to need to get soybeans loaded up. Just realized that. So we do have some seed. Let's hop back over here. See what we got left. Let's open this right up. We got Cortiva there. Get plenty of fertilizer. I'm not really burning through that because it's beans, so probably bring those two. Are we really down? Yeah, so that is it. 3 stacks. So 3,000. Yeah, 3,000. Well, 3,150 technically, but so we'll get these loaded up, run those down over there. Figure out how I'm gonna do that. Probably just take that truck, but I think that's got to be our plan. Really wish we had a smaller trailer and truck for this, but we'll make it work with the payload. We're gonna have to pick up some more seed anyway, because I don't think I'm gonna build a silo just yet, but we'll go do that. I want to thank y'all for watching. Continue to share the content. I appreciate all the support and the likes y'all have been giving the channel. Till next time, Farmer Taz out.